Good evening and welcome to Kicking It with FC Woodhaven. Today is March 9th, and I guess you could say it's a year anniversary. Our first show was March 4th, so we're a little few days away from past our anniversary. So I figured, we haven't done a show in a few months. It's been a while. I get asked all the time, and we do have to get to some kind of consistency with the show, so we will be doing that. But I figured today, was a good day to get back into it. There's only so much CNN and Fox News I can be watching because I've been glued to it for months with this presidential race. So I figured let's get the show going, and we're a couple weeks away from kickoff of the season. We have a few teams, more than a few teams, that are participating in the Long Island Cup. So they'll get to kick off the weekend of the 19th and the 20th, which is about a week and a half away. The teams are back outside. We're doing our preseason training. Next week, we resume to twice a week. So pretty much the spring season is here. The show is back, and away we go. So this past weekend, we had our first annual dinner dance, which was a huge success. It went better than I thought it was going to go. So thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you to, people who sponsored in our journal ads. Thank you to Villarusso. We honored Steve Calabrese from Natural Body. He was our hashtag We Are Queens Community Award recipient. We honored Antonio Barone with our United Award. We also honored Ralph Green. We honored Kevin. We honored Lisa. And the surprise came from Family of the Year to the Alessi family, which, again, those of you that were there heard the speech, heard how long they've been here. So it was good to get the first annual dinner dance out of the way. A lot went into it, but, a few things we're going to tweak here and there. But basically, it's ready to go. I mean, the second one is already booked. It's March 11th. So we're going to do it a week later than we had did it for this year. But this is going to be a tradition, and we're looking forward to it. I think everyone that was there, I can honestly say, had a great time. It's good when we all have kids and we all deal with kids all week long, all year round. But it was good to get out there, enjoy. You see different personalities from parents, even coaches. So it was a great evening, and I just want to thank everyone that made it possible, everyone that attended. I mean, the gift baskets came out absolutely amazing. Lisa worked many hours putting them together. Some of them we did get donated. Some of them we got stuff donated, and then we put the baskets together. So the baskets came out great. We were actually able to raise over $2,000 from the gift basket raffles, along with the grand prize raffle. And grand prize raffle went to Linda Rice. So the grand prize raffle was the New York City FC autographed jersey, along with 4 tickets to a game of their choice, which they do have season tickets, but the jersey was framed. So the dinner dance was a great evening, and looking forward to the next one. But bottom line is, spring season is here, and we're getting teams ready. And even on the recreational part, I mean, we're starting a new program now with our pre-developmental for basically it's 3 and 4-year-olds. It was something that I really wanted to do for the last couple of years, and I figured this was the perfect season to start it going. And I really didn't even promote it that much, but I mean, as of right now, we have a waiting list. We have 30 players already, which is a little bit more than I wanted to go to. So we will add a few more coaches on. I mean, it's once a week. Basically, they are the beginners as they start their Woodhaven soccer careers. So that's going to be good to see. The developmental league, as usual, is growing each season. So it's going to be an interesting season. It's something where not that we're fast forwarding to the fall season, but there's a lot of rule changes that U.S. Soccer has implemented. So that's going to, you know, it's going to change a lot. I mean, different roster sizes, field sizes, goal sizes. So there's a lot that we're going to have to start to get ready for as we approach the fall season. And you know, everybody knows June we have tryouts. We're moving a calendar year, which, you know, those of you that are part of the developmental league know that a year ago I moved the developmental league to calendar year to prepare for what we knew what was coming. And it's just easier to form teams, easier to, you know, even form the teams in the developmental league where everybody plays on their own year. So there's a lot of changes coming with U.S. Soccer. I do believe most of the changes I agree with. You know, we do focus on player development, and U.S. Soccer is definitely that's the forefront as far as with player development. But now with the new rule changes and the field sizes and roster sizes, now we're really going to move to player development. So, you know, a lot of things are going to be happening, and we are going to get to consistency with the show. We're going to start doing it once a week, and basically just, again, this show is for the players. The show is for the parents, questions, anything like that. So again, if you have any questions tonight, email me at info@woodhavensoccer.com. I see already, you know, the viewers are there. It's nice, you know, you get the first show going back, and, you know, you're starting to see the numbers climb with the viewers. You never know, at some point of the show, I might throw a little giveaway in there. Haven't really decided. Everybody knows that when I do this show, there's no script. It just goes from minute by minute and, you know, whatever's on the agenda. But again, if you have the questions, email me, info@woodhavensoccer.com. And again, the questions could be about anything. We, you know, not only is our spring season starting, New York City FC, they have their home opener this Sunday. So that's exciting because we know many of our players and parents have season tickets and they go out to the games. So that'll be exciting this Sunday. I believe the game's 5 o'clock. So it's nice. You know, we're kicking off our season. New York City FC, they had a game last week. Started off with a win, which was great. It's always good to get 3 points in the first game. But so what I'm going to do tonight, again, we're just going to ease back into the show. And as questions come in, I'll answer them. If, you know, the show can go all different ways. But, you know, I want to talk about this season. I mean, it's a big season because we came off our best season ever last season. You know, our teams had a positive result rate of 82%. We all know I came up with this formula. We always want to get a positive result in 75% of our games. Positive result is a tie, win. You know, what we're going to do this season is, again, U7s and U8s, there are no standings. So we're going to, you know, practice what we preach. And it's not about winning, so we're not going to include those games in our results because, you know, it becomes hypocritical as far as with that. And we really have to focus on it's not about winning. And again, even when you get to U9, U10, U11, yes, we are keeping score, their standings. Basically, we're keeping score. We're keeping track of the wins and the losses because that's the way of developing a team and knowing where a team ranks among the rest of the teams. Okay, but we're getting to a point right now where, again, it's not just soccer; it's every single sport that the focus on winning is just it's becoming too much, and we're putting a lot of pressure on the players. You know, bottom line is we want players to develop and we want players to have fun. We want players to enjoy. We want them to be creative. We want them to think. I mean, players don't think anymore. So when they're on their field, we don't want to load them up with pressure. So it just makes it important that we focus on the development. So, but again, we have pretty much teams in every single age group. You know, our U9s are coming off division championship. So with the bracket that they're in, pretty much same team. So they should be pretty much on the right track. Again, you know, that team from day one, from the last 2 years, has had the progression of just developing and improving season after season. Girls U9 are playing in one of the toughest brackets and the toughest divisions. They're matched up with Suffolk County teams, so it's going to be a good test for them coming off their undefeated season, division championship season. So it should be good to see how they react to that. You know, we have our girls U9, our boys U10, our boys U12, girls U12, boys U14, and our boys U17 all competing in the Long Island Cup, which kicks off next weekend. Some teams on Saturday, some teams on Sunday. And again, with the Long Island Cup, it's basically win or go home. You win the first game, you move on. You know, and we've done for the last couple of years, we've had, you know, at least 2 teams get to the finals. We always have at least one team win the Long Island Cup. So again, it's up to see how we do, see how we can match up with the rest of the teams. But boys U10, listen, they had a great season last season. They finished second, a couple bounces here and there. They become division champs. They once again, they keep improving. You know, it's a very dynamic team. You know, players can be moved around. It's good to see. Boys U12 are looking to get challenged. They had a very easy season last season. They moved up one division. We want to see what they can do. And they're in the New York Cup. And actually, our girls U9 are advanced in the New York Cup. And both teams are actually traveling upstate. They're playing LaGrange, which who would have thought that, you know, you have a girls team, you have a boys team. One is U9, one is U12. And the way it lined up, that we actually, both teams are on the road, and they're actually on the road playing the same exact club, which is about 2 hours away. So that'll be interesting to see how the boys U12 and the girls U9 do in the New York Cup. You know, they made it into this round. Let's see if they can advance. So again, you have the girls U9 and the boys U12 who are competing in the Long Island Cup. They have their league games, and they're in the state cup, which is good to see. And our boys U14, I think from what we've seen with a couple of scrimmages and with their training, boys U14 are on the right track. I mean, I think they're hungry. These players are maturing. They're ready to take it to the next level. So that'll be good to see what they do. Boys U17 did not play last season because we had players play in high school. So that's a team where, again, we know they're going to bring it every single time they get on the field. Coach Ricky does a great job with them. It's a very disciplined team. Some players are playing up. It is a U17 team, so I just don't know what to expect from there. But I will tell you, they will compete game in and game out. You know, we have a girls U12 who, you know, it's a little bit different team than it was last season. And, you know, Coach Stephanie now takes over that team, which, again, you know, she brings the passion. I know she wants them to succeed, but, you know, we're going to see what we can do with that team. And just, again, bottom line is every single one of our teams that step on the field, they will compete. They will give you everything they have. And that's something that I love seeing during training, during, you know, because, again, I see a lot of games. So it's good to see. We also have our boys U11 who are division champions as well. You know, they move up a division, which is good. And, you know, Coach Ralph now is coaching that team. And they look to do exactly what they did last season. And, you know, a lot of those plays, again, goes back to the development. You know, they're developing, they're improving, but we also have to remember they went up a division, so they're going to be playing a little bit tougher competition. You know, so it's difficult when you come off a great season, and majority of our teams had phenomenal seasons. And, you know, you start looking at the expectations, And again, you don't want to go backwards, but if a team goes undefeated one season and then the following season they go 7-2 and 6-3, yeah, it looks like it wasn't as good as the season before. But you know what? You can't win every single game. We always have to remember that when we step on the field and we're competing, we are also competing against another team that trains as hard as we do, that has the passion like we do, that they want to develop like we do. So sometimes we forget that we are playing against strong competition. We are playing against other teams, and they're doing just as much as we're doing. So that's something that we always have to juggle with, and that's why when the season ends, we enjoy it. But you know what happened last season happened last season. It's now a new season, and all we can do is move forward and see, how much we can improve from last season. And yes, there's always improvement. Even if you had an undefeated season, there's improvement every single time we train. There's improvements. So it's going to be an interesting season. The spring season sometimes drags and sometimes flies by. So it's everybody knows about the calendar year, and then it's pretty much what everybody is just talking about is with the calendar year, and obviously plays are going to be shuffling. But you know what? This is not something that Woodhaven Soccer is doing. This is not something that other club. This has come down from U.S. Soccer. So it's finally where everybody's getting on the same page, and we have to follow what U.S. Soccer wants us to do. And again, it just makes it simple when you put players on calendar year. It makes it easier forming teams. If you're born in 2007, you're on a 2007 team. You're born in 2009, you're on a 2009 team. Okay, and it just makes it a lot easier. And if we're going to keep preaching player development, we have to show player development. So it's going to be fascinating to see tryouts. And again, I deal with a lot of parents outside the club from other clubs. And, you have some parents that are, rebelling and saying, oh, well, we've been on this team for 2 years and this and that. Listen, we have to, I always compare it to school. And at the end of the year, guess what? When they move to another grade, they get a new teacher. They also, most of the times, there's students moving from class to class to class. You know what? We have to use sports as a way to show them the rest of the world, the way things work. We're giving them life skills, and you can't go through life on sports by just handing everything to players and just making it easy for them. It's again, competition is good, tryouts are good, and you want players to especially play where they belong. And I'm not saying that, see, for us, we're pretty much a small club, so we really are not going to have so much movement, so it's just, and I hate even talking about it now, but I get these questions all day long. I get these questions all week because, again, this is what parents are talking about, is with this calendar year. But bottom line is, it's what's in the best interest of the players, what's in the best interest of the teams, and more importantly, we're developing players, and it's about player development. So again, it's great to be back with the show. It is our 1 year and 5-day anniversary. If you have questions, send them to info@woodhavensoccer.com. I see the viewers are coming up. I'm really thinking about a giveaway. I came on right before thinking about doing a contest. If I do one, it's going to be a very simple one. I will tell you, it'll be, if I do one, it'll be about New York City FC. It'll be an easy question. It'll be a quick giveaway, but we know when I do the shows, I love doing the giveaways, and I think people have been accustomed of watching the show and a giveaway. So we'll see what happens in the next few minutes. But again, if you have any questions, email me, info@woodhavensoccer.com. Follow us on Twitter, FC Woodhaven. Follow us on Instagram at Woodhaven Soccer. And just want to talk about a few programs that we have coming up. We have our spring break camp, which is April 25th to April 28th. It's a 4-day camp. It's $100. It's from 9 a.m. to 11:45. We have about 4 to 5 spots left on that. So we still have some room on that, which is, it's still about 6 weeks away. We opened up registration for our summer camps. Now, everybody knows I've been doing these summer camps for years. I mean, like clockwork, as soon as the summer camp ends, I always get the same 4 or 5 players that register for the year before. That's why I always release the dates as soon as summer camp finishes. But I've noticed, I mean, all of a sudden, everybody's doing now summer camps. When I did summer camps, we all know it started with 30 kids, 2 sessions, 40 kids, and it just grew. But I mean, I get questioned about the summer camp over and over again. I mean, I was at the New York City Indoor Classic in February, and I had, again, I won't mention them. I'm sure everybody knows who they are, but I had a couple clubs come up to me and question me about the camps and ask me how do I get those numbers, and how do you do it? Honestly, it's easy. I mean, the camp sells itself. I mean, there's nothing I have to do to really, I make some social media posts. It's on our website, and the camps actually is very simple to get. It's something where I know some clubs that do camps and they get like 40 plays. But it's been very easy to fill the camp out. And last year we went to 6 weeks. This year again we're doing 6 weeks. It's and that's something, when you see how many of our travel players do our summer camp, that is a reason why our fall seasons, when we get to September, our players are in great shape, because I mean, I can't even tell you the majority of the players that do all 6 weeks. So the summer camps are there to benefit the players. So it's, again, I say, I can't say it enough. Summer camps, they're simple. It's it fills itself out, and it just basically sells itself. So that's why we started to do the spring break camp. So pretty much same thing. Small sided games, some technical stuff, some opposite foot, some shooting, some defending. So that'll be good. So last year, I would say by the time, I think it was second week of June, I had about 60, 70 kids already booked for each week. So definitely get on that with the summer camps. The developmental league has grown each season. Spring season now, it used to be in the past where we used to get a little bit less plays in the fall. Now we get more plays in the spring, because they're getting ready for our tryouts. So we anticipate promoting a lot of players from the developmental league to travel teams. We are going to see some age groups that we're going to be making multiple teams, which is going to be good. So again, we're growing. It's something where each season, I know the developmental league has grown, but now that we see ourselves with the travel teams growing as well. I mean, we started our brand new boys U6, girls U6. That's the age group that's going to affect a lot of changes as far as when you get to the fall season. But I will announce now what we did was, we are no longer, as a club, starting in September, going to let our U7s travel. All right. What we did was we partnered up with 5 other clubs, and we're going to hold festivals for the U7s, which is going to be that 2010 age group. where once a month each club will host. I'll give you a few of the clubs that we partnered up with. Partnered up with the Brooklyn Italians. We partnered up with Auburndale. Partnered up with Saba. We partnered up with New York Intermex. And then there's going to be one or two more clubs that are going to get into the mix as far as with that. And again, the concept is, again, when you get 5 and 6 year olds to travel, you're putting a lot on them, because no matter what you say about it's not about winning or anything like that, you know what? When you start traveling, basically when you're a travel team, it's there's a lot of commitment and everything like that. So what we want to do is, with that age group, is we want to introduce traveling to them on a smaller basis, where as far as once a week. Our U17s will continue playing in the developmental league, getting them ready. But having these festivals once a month is going to be great, because it's going to be like a tournament atmosphere where, you know, you get to bond with all the different clubs. And the most important thing is, when you can get clubs that are working together, that is where we really can start focusing on player development, because each club can talk about player development, but now when you do it as a group and you come together, it has a little bit more impact on the entire community and everything else. And it shows a lot of unity to everybody when clubs can actually work together. Because you know what? We all have the same goal. The goal is to develop players. And listen, the more players we can develop, the more players that we can make better, the more players that can be have more success. Yeah, you're going to draw more. So, but it does start with the younger ages. I mean, right now we are having U7s travel currently this season. And you know what? It takes its toll, because honestly, these kids are 6 and 7 years old. And we're asking a lot from them. You know, and with that age group, again, it's basically going to be a little bit simpler. They're going to play 4v4, no goalkeepers, and just truly develop them. And most importantly, let them have fun. You know, I just got a question here. It says, is it true that travel players are mandated to attend 2 weeks of camp? Well, it's not really 2 weeks of camp. We want every player to do at least 1 week of camp. Okay. Now, with our club, we do have players that go away for the entire summer. We understand that you know, they go back to their countries, they vacation the entire summer. And again, we do understand that. But we do want players to do at least 1 week of camp, you know. And listen, what's great about doing 1 week of camp is we know how much the players are getting out of that 1 week of camp. Because as much as I always say, our summer camp is structured. All right, there's a curriculum in place, and they get a lot out of it. And what happens is, we're only training once a week in the summer, and we want to keep the players fresh. And you know what? When you get a player that's doing it 5 days a week, you're getting them in shape and you're keeping them going. So again, you know, that's something that we put in there, but it's something that I don't even think that we're gonna really have to really go over, because majority of our players, I mean, honestly, I have to say, 90% of our travel players actually do 1 week of camp. And the 10% that probably don't do our summer camp, it's for number one reason is either they're vacationing, they go away for the entire summer, the whole family goes away, or the time frame just does not work for parents, because it is 9 to 12. And I totally understand it. You know, and over the years, I've had parents ask me, "Oh, do a full day camp." You know, I would do all 6 weeks if you did a full day. Honestly, to do a full day, even if I did 9 to 3, I don't see that helping. So, you know, the 9 to 12 actually works. But honestly, I think the number is about 90% of our players do at least 1 week of camp, and probably 25 to 30% of our players do at least 4 weeks of camp. So again, with our travel plays, and what we do now is with our travel plays, it's very simple. Whether you do 1 week, you do 6 weeks, you get 25% discount. So there is a little bit of an incentive there to do the camp as well. So you want to reward the travel plays. But again, the camp prices did go up a little bit this season. But if you look around for all the summer camps, we are still the cheapest soccer camp out there for what we give you. We give you 3 T-shirts, we give you a soccer ball, and again, when you break it down, I think it comes out to under $10 an hour. If you really want to break down the hours and everything of the summer camp. So I hope that answers your question. That question actually came from Gio, which I don't know. His kids always do all 6 weeks of camp, so that's pretty funny. But that's Gio always wanting to participate, and we're always glad that he's watching the show. So again, any other questions, email me at info@woodhavensoccer.com. I think I'm about 4 minutes away from doing a contest. I'm starting to, I see the viewers up there. It's getting high. And the viewers that I see are only the viewers that are watching through YouTube. Okay, so I don't see the viewers that are watching directly from our website. I don't see that until the next morning. But it's good to see that. So in about 3-4 minutes, I think I'm going to come up with something for a giveaway. And, we'll have a little fun with that. Honestly, this giveaway should be very quick because it's very easy. I think some of you will get it right away. So, again, if you have a question, info@woodhavensoccer.com, Twitter @FC Woodhaven, follow us on Instagram at Woodhaven Soccer. Follow us. I mean, again, that's another question I get all the time. I was about to say about on Facebook, Woodhaven Soccer Club, but we have over almost 13,000 followers on Facebook. So we have followers all over the place. I mean, if you go around all the other youth soccer clubs around us with their Facebook page and everything, it's nowhere near the numbers that we have. So we do a very good job with social media. I get that all the time from other clubs, how they say they love our, how much we do on social media. And again, social media has made it very easy to promote the club and just get the word out there. So social media has been a good asset for us. And if you use it the right way, it can really work for you. As far as the show, again, I know we talked about it months ago, but we are going to, one way or another, going to figure out a way to take phone calls. And I think the time is sooner than later because I announced it a few weeks ago, but we are expanding. The office is getting bigger. We are, taking over next door. We're going to get a conference room upstairs. And basically, what's exciting about the conference room is not only are we going to have room for meetings for our coaches, we are now going to be able to bring teams in and do that classroom setting, give them that extra day and really start breaking the game down, start breaking down training sessions. So it's very exciting what's going to be happening in the next 2 or 3 weeks as far as with the office here. So basically, doing the show is going to probably move upstairs in the conference room, which will make it a lot easier. And so we're going to have Verizon come here and move things around and phone lines. So now it's a good time to work on a way of taking phone calls, because I think if we could take phone calls, that'll just take the show to the next level. And it just makes it easier. This way people can just, everybody has their cell phone. You can just pick up the phone call and take live calls, which will make it very fun, interesting, and you don't have to sit here and send the emails. So again, if you have questions, info@woodhavensoccer.com. You could ask me a question on Twitter @FC Woodhaven. And all right, you guys want a contest? I think we should do a contest. Since I had an idea, I figured we were going to be doing this. I have over here beautiful New York City FC scarf. All right, as you can see, let me show it to you. All right, the scarf, both sides, very nice. You know, because again, those games in March and April, you're still going to need a scarf. And what's great about this scarf is it says 2016 City member. So obviously, you know, it's from this year. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give away the scarf. All right. And we're going to make it very, 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 very simple. All right. New York City FC had their first game on Sunday, which was a win. They beat Chicago Fire, 4-3. They had 4 different goal scorers. All right. David Villa, the captain, did not score. So what I want to know is to win this scarf. Okay, it's a very simple question. If you watch the game, you know the answer right away. This is going to be a question where you can Google it. All right. Who scored the first goal for the 2016 season to kick off on Sunday's match against Chicago? Who scored the first goal for New York City FC? That is the question. Whoever answers the question correctly wins this New York City FC scarf. So there is the question. All right. You can answer at info@woodhavensoccer.com, Twitter at FC Woodhaven, and go from there. And again, we just got the answer. So I'm glad she's watching, but she should know better because she's not going to win this. All right. But I will say Lisa answered the question correctly. So I'll give her a shout out there that she answered the question correctly. But, you know, you cannot be a winner on the show. So, but thank you for watching. I know the USA versus Germany, the women's match is on. And I think she's watching the show. She's watching the women's game. But for the record, yes, Lisa answered the question correctly. But, oh, okay, what do we have here? All right. So Christine was actually the one that answered the question. So we'll give that props back to Christine. So unfortunately, I will give Christine a scarf, but we will still give this one away. So Christine, you will win a scarf. You answered the question correctly, but we want to open it up to everybody else. So, but I'm so glad that Lisa and Christine are watching as they're watching the women's game. So that's on ESPN 3, USA versus Germany. So let's see. Okay, now that answer is wrong. All right. But again, if you were watching the game, it's very simple. And it was a beautiful goal, I must say. It was a beautiful goal. So that is the question. We'll leave it out there. You know, so we got a lot of things going on. We have the expansion of the office that we're going to start to remodel and start to expand. We got the spring season going. We have our new program, pre-developmental program going. We have developmentally going. Obviously, we have our travel program going. Getting ready for our summer camps. So again, we said 2016 was going to be a big year. We have Claudio coming back. He's going to be training our goalkeepers. We are working on something very big with Ciccio Graziani and the whole AS Roma Academy trainers. You know, I can't release that yet, but that's going to be something big that's going to be opened up to the entire it's really going to be opened up to not just Woodhaven. It's going to be into the whole soccer community. So that's going to be actually very good. And actually, I just got the answer from Gio, who was actually, we know he was watching. And if I have to go by time, I got about 4 people that answered it correctly. But if I have to go by time, the time was from Gio. He got the answer correct. The player that scored the first goal for New York City FC was Tommy McNamara, number 15. So, Gio, You answered correctly, and you just got yourself a New York City FC scarf. But I will say, listen, I always see you with the Woodhaven scarf. When you're at the field, make sure you wear the Woodhaven scarf and not the New York City FC scarf. So, congratulations to Gio. It was good to see you win the scarf. And again, actually, a lot of people answered correctly, but I have to go by the time. So, but I'm glad. I like when people get involved. Everybody loves those giveaways. So that's something we're going to have a lot this season. A lot of giveaways. And now I'm getting nasty messages that, who answered first and everything. That's why everything is always got to be legit. There's no politics here. Everything goes by time. And, and that's why when we move to taking phone calls, okay, it's going to be a lot easier. This way, when they call in, everybody's going to hear it. So this way, you don't have to worry about, we don't have to sit here and go through times and everything like that. So again, going into this, I said it was going to be a short show. Wanted to get back into it, but we're going to, again, we're going to have consistency, right? I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we do a show every single week. I can tell you now, we will definitely do a show next week to preview all the Long Island Cup games for our teams. But again, two main things. I wanted to do a show today because it was pretty much our year anniversary. And also, I needed to get away from CNN and Fox News because I needed to get away from the presidential race. I mean, I'm glued to this thing all day long, all night long. So I needed to get away from that and get back into the flow of doing the show. So again, Kicking It with FC Woodhaven is back. We will see you next week. And next week we will preview the Long Island Cup games coming up. And next week, Coach Ricky will be on with me. And I'm sure a lot of people will have questions. We'll promote the show. But next week will be a big show. It'll be a little bit longer. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching tonight.